welcome back, and let's see something about talent and motivation now. Don't forget that motivation is acknowledged by, for example, Ericsson as maybe the only source of what we call talent. The concept of talent is a bit an anti-deliberate practice one. One is a talent, therefore one doesn't need as much deliberate practice. Otherwise, what's the meaning of being a talent, right? Right. But I don't believe in talents. I believe in deliberate practice. I don't know of anyone who has got away with less practice. Even the most successful, talented and best paid performers, or should I say it is particularly such individuals that have been investing the most time in serious practice. Generally speaking, if any talent does exist, it would be that of intrinsic motivation. So, 37, it's the next guideline from where we've stopped. Talent is a meta-value judgment and a potential, the existence of which, however, cannot yet be either precluded or confirmed. So why is it a meta-value judgment? Because high performance is a value judgment, what someone believes to be high performance or what is considered in a specific society and social context to be important or high performance or whatever, it's not the same each period and in each society and so on and so forth. So this is a value judgment, and the source of this high performance is also a value judgment. So talent is a value judgment about a value judgment. 38. Talent has no predictive or explanatory powers yet for expertise attainment. Whenever talent is not just described as a personal feature, such as eye color or height, but there is an attempt for it to be enriched with other properties, usually predictive, see talent hunters, researchers and educators alike are disoriented. 39. Therefore, it is proposed that terms related to talent should be abandoned in educational environments. 40. Terms like talented, gifted, etc. pose another danger. Because they are considered magical from the general public's point of view, children that do have very or even extremely developed abilities in relation to their peers, abilities or even better skills in relation to their peers, because they are considered talents, they are often left without help in the belief that some kind of natural talent will drive their progress and not high quality work. Work, practice, is always the most important determinant in expertise attainment. 41. The study of talent is the study of expertise. 42. Creativity must be considered and enhanced in the development of experts via a multimodal extracurricular exposure. 43. A binary methodology of how to study, deliberate practice, in combination with what to study, the distal method, is proposed here in order to ensure success for all adequately motivated individuals and to prevent the cases of failure observed and cited in the available literature. Because some pieces of literature say that there have been researches conducted where people tried to train doing deliberate practice, but they didn't succeed in becoming experts. So my world-class experts. So my answer to that is, of course, that expertise attainment needs deliberate practice and the distal method. 44. Motivation is a globally recognized performance factor. 45. Motivation, in the way in which it is presented, defined by social convention, is both inherited and nurtured. but its growth is the most important aspect, as it may be greatly manipulated by teachers or individuals themselves. So if you are not a talent, that is, if you are not born with a high level of motivation, you can become a talent by growing your motivation. 46. Motivation and demotivation have many components, and the learning methodology should account for all of them. 47. Motivation should enhance both participation and understanding. It's no use if I just have an athlete who, like it usually happens, who is very motivated to participate, to come and train for many hours, okay, but not really motivated to understand what he or she is doing. 48. Activities should be intrinsically motivating. External motivation, rewards, should be kept to a minimum, assuming that one has appropriately demarcated internal versus external motivation. There are many interesting pieces of research about children who, when paid to do something intrinsically motivating like drawing, lost their intrinsic motivation and expected money or candies. They didn't give money to children, they gave them candies. So they expected external reward to do something which was otherwise intrinsically motivating, but it ceased to be that. 49. There exists a critical period for learners before they attain a good level, after which they will have become more internally motivated to continue. This is very similar to what Csikszentmihalyi proposes about how the flow state works. Someone who becomes better at some point feels this flow and wants to keep training and participating because it's a very nice sensation. During this period, the period that one has become more internally motivated to continue, during this period, the dropout rate decreases if practitioners actually locate and respect individuals' learning styles. Okay, so don't just take children and be like, you will do deliberate practice and you will like it later on, not now, so keep trying. Respect a bit your children's learning style, okay, and give them a chance to experience something that provides them motivation, like the flow state. Okay, don't push them too hard, okay, because maybe a misunderstanding might arise from what we have said, that you should push everybody to work really hard, and at some point they will say, yeah, I like this very much. No, this is just a recipe for neurotism to arise. Okay, just respect. You know, I had a teacher, one of my greatest teachers of all times. One of the things that amazed me was that he never pushed anyone, including me, to study. And at some point I asked him, Spiros, shouldn't you try to motivate me to, you know, like my other teachers do, and study more, some more hours, do more homework? And he said, no, that's ridiculous. If you don't want yourself to do it, why should I care and tell you to study more? I mean, I will tell you how to study and how many hours, but why push you to do something that you are not internally motivated to do on your own? Do what you want. And let's close with some very few guidelines that are related to schools. Some final guidelines taken not from scientific findings, as was the case with all the previous propositions, but from my own personal experience with schools and great spiritual traditions and so on. And we are at number 50. So 50. Relaxation is an attribute of performance that is central in school teachings and helps performers not only to avoid strain but also to reach high levels of virtuosity. And it is only through relaxation that you will be able to use your body as if it is a part of the external environment, and so on. 51. Weighting factors should be attributed to exercises. Okay, I have to study a piano piece or to study tennis. The basics are very important. My weaknesses are very important. Not everything should be practiced or studied the same. Okay, we don't have infinite time anyway. 52. The development of basic techniques is a prerequisite for every successful discipline. 53. Daydreaming, also known as magical thinking, is highly undesirable, contrary to what people outside of schools think about it. Instead, a good contact with reality, an unbiased one as much as possible, is promoted. 54. On the other hand, it cannot be stressed enough how important cognitive skills are, mental models, motivation, and so on. 55. Slow practice is an inherent part of high-level practice, and the more you develop yourself, the slower you will be able to practice. That's funny, but it's true. 56. Even the slightest detail is to be taught and become explicit if high-class performance is the desired outcome. 57. Mastering the form of a skill is a prerequisite to high performance, not the other way around. So, as I have already told you, the more a detailed list with the 120 guidelines will be the content of the future advanced digital method learning coaching course, coaching and counseling. I hope you had a great time, you learned some things. Please be sure to go and study the material again and again and study the resources. Go and find and study the papers related to the digital method. Okay. And let's see some exercises in the final video. And till then, have a good time.